So, I want to talk about being busy. And, it's something that I think in society we, for some reason, hold credit to it, but it's not actually a virtue, it's a vice, being busy. And, the laundry basket is never going to be empty, the dishes are never always going to be completely done. It'll all just keep coming. And I think we just need to take a deep breath and decide that that is okay. You are not a bad person because you don't have the perfectly clean house with your dishes all done and the laundry all perfectly folded. Gosh, I chuck things in the kids' drawers all the time, not folded perfectly. So the problem with being busy is we tell people we're busy all the time, so that becomes a mindset thing and we just get overwhelmed. But we become distracted as well with mundane tasks because we feel like it's all on us, and then we start missing just the time to be still and that white noise, that white space that we need to be quiet, to connect, and then to become inspired and to dive into our self-care and to look after ourselves, because we feel like we've always got so much on our plate, we're unable to stop. And it's when you actually stop where the magic will happen. So it's not helping us, it's not putting us in a good place whatsoever, being busy. It's wearing you out, it's draining you, it's wiping you. So we need to remove that word from our vocabulary because we use it all the time. Think about when somebody says, "Hey, nice to see you, how are you?" "Oh, I'm so busy." I'm just so busy. Think about what that actually does to your mindset and how you're feeling and just your whole being and your life. If you're feeling like you're constantly busy, there's going to be no time for you. Things are always going to come up and there's always going to be another thing to be busy about. So just know that, yeah, you're always going to be busy, but let's change your mindset around that to my life is full. My life is full. But what is your life full of? So it should be full of things that you enjoy to do, because we only live once. And that is okay. And there shouldn't be guilt around that, because when you fill your cup, you fill other people's, you can fill other people's as well. So it's hard to pour into other people's cups when yours isn't full. So, you just don't want to end up in a rut at the bottom of your cup where you're so busy, you've neglected the important stuff, like spending time with your kids and things like that. And nourishing that relationship with yourself through self-care and what you need as well. So we put ourselves in a place of being busy. And guys, we all have the same amount of minutes in every single day as the next person. There is people that own multi-billion-dollar businesses that have changed their vocabulary around being busy and understand that their life is full, and for it to actually be full of good things, they need some time out for themselves and they need some self-care. So having that level of awareness that we need to chill out. So that is what I'm trying to bring to you today, is that level of awareness that you need to chill out and the importance of white space on your calendar. Because I'll tell you that stress is the underlying cause of diseases and so many things like hormone imbalances and so many things that can go wrong in your body. So it's finding those, those moments where you can bring yourself back down. It should be every day, even if it's just sitting and taking, 5 deep breaths right down into your belly. So your whole body, every cell in your body stops being in fight and flight, and it knows that you are safe and that you're okay. Bring your heart rate back down. It'll really help, control cortisol levels. Your hormones won't be all going crazy and out of whack. You need to find those anchor points in your day. It might be where, okay, 10:30 or whatever, when I get my coffee break or whatever it is, I'm going to go out into the sunshine, get some beautiful sun on my skin, because morning sun helps us also sleep at night. It helps to increase those melatonin levels. That is a healthy habit that I'm going to do. That is for me. That is going to bring me back into alignment of, where I want to be. But it's important to have that white space on your calendar and those anchor points. Could be that lunchtime, you're going to remove yourself from, a building because you're working inside all day, and you're going to go out, you're going to take your shoes off, you're going to put your feet on the grass, and you're going to enjoy nature and being out there for a moment. And you start to do that, you will see a massive difference. If you're like, mind your words. If you're always telling people that you're busy, that is going to overwhelm you. That is going to overwhelm you, and you're going to bring more of that in. You're not going to bring less in. You're going to bring more of it in till it depletes you. So quit being so busy. It's time to let go of stuff. It is okay if you don't do the washing today. It is a healthy habit to tick off a few things every day and move forward. Not tick off everything like a crazy woman and not have spent any time with your children outside in the afternoon. That is not the life that you're going to want to look back on and reflect on. You're going to want to look back and go, I spent time pushing my kids on the swing, or I spent time looking after myself, and because of that, now I'm healthier. So who's in charge of your business and your time? It's you. It's no one else. It's not your kids. It's not your spouse. It's all the things that you do, and you put it on you. You are in control of your time, no one else. 24 hours a day you have, just like everybody else. You decide what you get to do with them. So you need to get back in the driver's seat. You really do, before you burn yourself right out. So stop saying you're busy. Stop saying you're tired. Stop saying you're depleted, because more of that is going to come into your life. More of it will come in. So you put that onto yourself. So, saying no is a complete sentence. That was one thing that I think is really important to know when it comes to self-care, is saying no is a complete sentence. So being, that people pleaser that you are and just going, oh, okay, I'll do it. It becomes a repetitive pattern, and then you're always the people pleaser. It's really hard for you to say no. And then don't even say, no, I'm so sorry, I can't. And then justify yourself. No is okay. Saying no is okay. You don't need to say anything else. You actually don't need to say anything else. Your time is precious, and you should be protecting your energy and your space, and you don't need to explain that to anybody else. No is a complete sentence. It's a little bit nerve-wracking at first when you start it off, but then it starts to feel really good, and you start to feel less guilty about it. So that could be something that you write down. No is a complete sentence if you are a yes person. Another thing, ask a question. What's it going to take for me to get this off my plate? If you've got something that is weighing you down, it's making you busy, what is it going to take to get out of that obligation that is actually just depleting your life? So if your life depended on it, could you do it? Could you get out of that? I bet you could. So, you could, and there's little things that you could do as well to find solutions. So if it's the laundry that's weighing you down every day, I keep saying that because with 4 kids in my house, I know that I've got a lot of laundry. If it's the laundry weighing you down every day, can you say to an older child, hey, can you go and put your clothes away, instead of you just doing it? And then over time, like, have them have their clothes there, so that is their thing, that is their responsibility. That's one less thing that you have to do, one more responsibility that they can learn and take on themselves. So not always just doing things for everyone else. So ask the question, what would it take to get this off my plate? And it could be something just as little as the laundry and someone else putting it away. So just quit trying to be all things to all people, including kids, including spouses. You can't do everything, and you're missing out on powerful opportunities to reconnect with the people that you love around you and to recharge. So you can do less. It's never going to be all done. You're always going to have a never-ending to-do list. Your inbox is never going to be empty, basically. So don't be afraid to ask for help as well, you know, especially when it comes to in your home. You know, that time that you've spent now putting away all your kids' clothes could have been 5 minutes of you deep breathing and really looking after yourself, and then being, you know, showing up as someone who's not cranky, you know, and then your whole night could run a lot more smoother. So find ways to free your space as well. You know, could it be that paying someone $50 a week to come in and do 2 hours of house cleaning, could that be totally worth it for you? You know, if you add up all of the coffee that you drink for the week, a lot of people, it's $50 worth. Is that money better spent? And coffee is just an example I'm using. You don't have to get rid of coffee, but that's just an example I'm using. You can find the money for those important things if they're important to you, and you feel like they're going to bring value into your life. You can't do all things all the time. Be okay with that. Don't be guilty. Don't feel guilty. So then once you've made sure that you've found a little bit of free time, you need to value that free time. And so filling it with self-care. So self-care is not selfish. It's not a luxury. It's ensuring that you're mentally, physically, spiritually, you're recharged, so you can be healthier and you can show up as a happier person. So, you know, when they say in the airplane, put your oxygen mask on first, super important. And I think especially mums can get really tied up in the having to do things for everybody and not put their oxygen masks on too. Dads can do it too, but I think, you know, maternal instincts kind of kick in. So what can you do for your self-care today that is like a non-negotiable? You know, sit down and journal it. How are you going to show up and shine your light on yourself each and every single week? Is it that you're going to commit to Sundays between this time and this time is my time? Or is it like 8 to 8:30 of a night is my time? Or is it getting up at the best time possible in the day, which is 5:30, and spending that time on yourself and having that white space time, but making sure that you've gone to bed earlier and not just sitting around scrolling your phone or looking at TV or whatever? Like, can you change a few habits around that so you can have better self-care? You know, if you're getting sick often as well, you're not filling your cup. You're not looking after yourself first. So, you know, just really filling every opportunity that you end up with by allowing yourself some space, by getting help and just knowing that you can't do everything, and filling that time with things of value. So every single week you could be you know, so write some things down, start to journal, grab out your workbook for this course. So every single week, what are some things that you're going to do? Are you going to go for a walk? I've got some examples here. Are you going to get a massage? Is that going to be your thing, that you go and do that once a month or something like that? And, you know, commit to those things straight in the diary, non-negotiables, like non-negotiables. It's just like having to eat every day. It's a non-negotiable. Are you going to meditate? Sitting in the sun with a cup of tea? Are you going to put aside time for personal development? Do you enjoy reading books? It could be that. Are you going to, every Sunday night, a new routine, a new habit of yours is going to be having a bath with Epsom salts and essential oils and just totally relaxing? Is that going to be something? And you may need to speak to your spouse about it and just say, hey, I've decided that we both need some self-care time. So let's just both, I'll have some time for me and you have some time for you. Let's pen that into our calendars of when we'd like to do that, so we just both know and we're both on the same page. You know, do you enjoy going to the gym? Like, it could be that you know, want to join the gym. A guided meditation on YouTube, hypnosis tracks, they're pretty cool too. Is it that you need to get to bed earlier? That is a form of self-care. Is it that you need to eat better? That is a form of self-care. Is it that you need to drink more water? Form of self-care. All of those things Like, write them down, what you need to do more of, and please feel free to share them with us. But you will know what you need to do to recharge your battery. And, you know, for your assignment for this video is write down 1 to 2 items of self-care that you are going to commit to during this challenge, during this course. 1 to 2 items of self-care that you are non-negotiably going to commit to. It doesn't have to be complicated, but you just have to make the time to allow yourself to do those things. So taking care of you, remember, is not a luxury, it's a necessity. So how are you going to slow down? How are you going to fit that in? Work that out first. Work out some things that you can do in your life, and then commit to 1 to 2 things that you're going to do every single week through this course. And hold those times as appointments, like you would a doctor's appointment or a physio appointment or whatever that you make. Yeah, and enjoy your self-care. Enjoy it. I can't wait to hear what you guys have decided to do.